Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in this world. This is Gloria White coming to you from Utah, USA. God bless each and every one of you. Today we're in the book of John in the New Testament in the King James Version of the Holy Bible, chapter 19. And then Pilate therefore took Jesus and scourged him. Now, a scourge is a sort of whip, and it has a handle, and off of the handle there are leather strips. And on those strips there can either be stones or pieces of metal with sharp edges, and this is what they scourged or beat Jesus with. And the soldiers plaited a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they put on him a purple robe. Now this crown of thorns, these thorns are still present in Israel today, and they are very long, very hard, and very sharp. Now when they put the thorn of crowns on his head, they pushed it, and it went into the skin in his skull. And said, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they smote him with their hands. They struck him with their hands. Pilate therefore went forth again and saith unto them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. Then came Jesus forth, wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. And Pilate saith unto them, Behold the man. When the chief priests therefore and the officers saw him, they cried out, saying, Crucify him! Crucify him! Pilate saith unto them, Take ye him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him. The Jews answered him, We have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the Son of God. But we know that he didn't make himself the Son of God. Our Father did that. Verse 8. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid. And in verse 9 here, we have a fulfilled prophecy, which can be found in Isaiah 53:7. And went again into the judgment hall, and saith unto Jesus, Whence art thou, or where art thou from? Where are you from? But Jesus gave him no answer. Verse 10. Then Pilate saith unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have the authority to crucify thee, and have authority to release thee? Jesus answered, Thou couldst have no authority at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore he that delivered me unto thee hath the greater sin. And he that delivered is not the Father, but the Jews that brought him unto Pilate. And from henceforth Pilate sought to release him. But the Jews cried out, saying, If thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar's friend. Whosoever maketh himself a king speaketh against Caesar. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Jesus forth, and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the Pavement, but in the Hebrew, Gabbatha. And it was the preparation of the Passover, about the 6th hour. Now, in the Hebrew time, in the hours of their day, the day began at 6 a.m. So the 9th hour would be the 3rd hour. The noon would be the 6th hour. And here it's the 6th hour. It's midday or noon. Now, the time would continue, and at 6 p.m., they would start the count again. And so 9 p.m. would be the 3rd hour, and midnight would be the 6th hour, and so forth and so on. Just so you understand when they're talking about the hour, what time it is. And it was the preparation of the Passover, and about the 6th hour. And he saith unto the Jews, Behold your king. And it was the preparation, verse 15. But they cried out, Away with him, crucify him. Pilate saith unto them, Shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, We have no king but Caesar. Then delivered he therefore unto them to be crucified. And they took Jesus and led him away. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha. And verse 18 here is another fulfilled prophecy, where they crucified him and the two other with him, one on either side, and Jesus in the midst, or the middle. And Pilate wrote wrote a title and put it on the cross, and the writing was, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. Verse 20. This title then read many of the Jews, for the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh or near to the city, and it was written in Hebrew and Greek and Latin. Then said the chief priest of the Jews to Pilate, Write not, the King of the Jews, but that he said, I am the King of the Jews. Pilate answered, What have I written? I have written. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Jesus, took his garments and made 4 parts, to every soldier a part, and also his coat or his tunic. Now the tunic was without seam, woven from the top throughout, all one piece, no seams. They said therefore among themselves, verse 24 is another fulfilled prophecy, and we can find this in Psalm 22:18. They said therefore among themselves, Let us not rend it, but cast lots for it, those whose it shall be, that the scripture might be fulfilled which saith, and this is the prophecy, They parted my raiment among them, and for my vesture, or clothing, they did cast lots. These things, therefore, the soldiers did. Verse 25. Now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother, and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleopas, and Mary Magdalene. And when Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple standing by, whom he loved, which would be John the apostle, not John the Baptist, he saith unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son. Then saith he to the disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour that disciple took her unto his own home. After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, saith, I thirst. Verse 29 is another fulfilled prophecy, and it's Psalm 69:21. It can also be found referenced in Matthew 27:48 and 50. Now there was set a vessel full of vinegar, or sour wine, and they filled a sponge with it, and put it upon hyssop, and put it to his mouth. When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, or the sour wine, he said, It is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost, or his spirit. The Jews therefore, because it was the preparation, that the body should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for that Sabbath day was an high day, they besought or asked Pilate that their legs might be broken, that they might be taken away. By breaking their legs would cause the death to come upon them very quickly. Then came the soldiers and brake the legs of the first and of the other which was crucified with him. Another fulfilled prophecy here in verse 33, which can be found in Exodus 12:46, Numbers 9:12, and Psalm 34:20. But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they brake not his legs. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came out blood and water. And he that saw it bare record, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. Verse 36 is another fulfilled prophecy, and it can be found in Exodus 12:46, Numbers 9:12, and Psalm 34:20. For these things were done, that the scripture should be fulfilled. A bone of him shall not be broken. And here in verse 37 is another fulfilled prophecy. Verse 37 can be found referenced in Psalm 22:16-17, Zechariah 12:10, and Zechariah 13:6. And again another scripture saith, they shall look on him whom they pierced. Verse 38. And after this, Joseph of Arimathea, being a disciple of Jesus, but secretly for fear of the Jews, besought Pilate that he might take away the body of Jesus. And Pilate gave him leave or authority or permission. He came therefore and took the body of Jesus. Now, some of you may not know, but Joseph of Arimathea was actually Jesus's uncle. And when Jesus was a child, he would go with his uncle, and they would cross the sea to England, where he was a tin tradesman, merchant. Verse 39. And there came also Nicodemus, which at the first came to Jesus by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, and about 100 pound weight. Verse 40. Then took they the body of Jesus and wound it, or wrapped it, bound it with strips of linen, clothes with spices, as the manner of the Jews is to bury. Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new sepulchre, or tomb, wherein was never man yet laid. And this was actually Joseph of Arimathea's. It was his tomb, and it had never been used. There laid they Jesus, therefore because of the Jews' preparation day, for the sepulchre was near at hand. And that concludes chapter 19. And there's an awful lot of information I added there. And I hope you find it helpful. And tomorrow, God willing, we'll be in chapter 20. And as always, I love you.